you can be kind of pigeonholed into, well, is this heavy? Is this metalcore? Is this that?
Right.
If you kind of strip those away and just go, do we love it? And does it sound cool? Does it make us feel good? Like, that's kind of what we go off.
Adam, thank you so much for your time today. Release day of the new album is coming closer every day. So how are you doing today?
We're good, yeah. It's there's a lot going on in the camp. We're currently practicing a set for like a stripped down version that we're going to play some in stores. And that's coming up in the next few weeks. So it's a really cool opportunity for us to kind of play a different style of set than we normally do.
Yeah.
I'm playing some piano in that, so it's a bit of a different vibe, but it's something we really like to do and change it up now and then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in just 2 sentences, you already say so much that we can dive into. Doing things slightly differently, and you play piano well. People that follow you on social media know that you're not afraid of tapping some piano keys from time to time. Awesome. Now, before we get into everything, the album and everything that's going on and what the shows you'll be playing, we have to talk obviously about To the Flowers, which dropped a week ago. I mean, where to start? Like, everybody, myself included, can relate to this video in some way, shape, or form. Unfortunately, not always the nicest pages of our personal lives that we can relate with. This video is a whole different thing. Let's just go straight into the reactions that you see from the fans. Because every band says, oh, we don't read comments and what have you. We all know that's a lie. When you see how in just a few days, so many people are reacting to this video, relating to this video, going like, that's exactly how I felt, or this means so much to me, or what have you. That, sure, mission accomplished, but it feels special.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the song alone had a very emotional connection to us, just sonically. Then we wanted to kind of elaborate on that visually with the video. It was kind of important for us to just evoke some emotion from it. It's like it was really hard, to be honest. Like, the whole lead up to it, because we didn't have too much time from creating the concept to filming it and editing it and getting it out. So, we were a bit short on time in that aspect. But yeah, we really worked hard on the script to just make sure it weren't just running off down a different theme or whatever. And as we were filming it, each night, Aaron, the bass player, he was throwing the edit, almost a rough edit together to kind of see if it was making sense and if we needed to do some more things. But yeah, it's kind of, like interesting to see people's reactions, and that's kind of what you want. You want to evoke some emotion. So it's like, it's awesome to see in a weird way that people are reacting well with it.
I'll be very open and transparent here. Something that for me really struck a chord was when the 2 people in the video, they clearly lose an unborn child. And with just a few seconds on screen, really, that's the emotion that's captured there is something that people that have never been in that situation might not think of. So is it fair to say that there's a lot of personal hurt of the band members into this video?
It's there's 5 guys in the band, so there's a lot of lives going on and different things, and even extended families and stuff like that. It's not just your personal thing, it's what happens around your life. So yeah, it's just, and we also wanted to be quite subtle with things, and not overly show things too much, and leave it a bit to your own imagination to just be like, we're not going to be too on the nose with these things, and we didn't want to be, like it to somewhat of an imagination to let people like work with the story their own way, that was quite important. But yeah, it was a definite journey, and it was quite intense, you know, filming it with the actors, really, because you know, you think, oh, I'll make a music video and that, but then when you are trying to capture something quite important and a few serious matters, when you're in the room, you know, stood behind the camera and it's actually happening in front of you, it's really quite an intense process.
I mean, the song on itself was already emotional. But then this extra layer of that music video and seeing how people relate to it, does that make it hard to play that song?
Well, yeah, we're just starting to play it, so it's one of them things. It's like, even though it might be hard to play some things because, you know, you've got emotional attachments to it, the point of doing it is to release those kind of emotional ties you have, or things that have created trauma in your life. And you know, at the time of writing these things, you know, you either might be going through some painful thing or whatever, but it is a release to kind of express it, get it out, and then every time you play it, you do feel that same release.
There's a lot more DIY to the band and this release and the videos than at times in the past. You guys, you know, took control of a lot of things, including making the videos. Yeah. For you, as a definitely not an inexperienced person in this industry, like in this whole process, what's the biggest lesson you've learned that you didn't expect?
Don't really know. In terms of just like, I think the workload of you know, doing it all yourself, so to speak, is like, you know, that getting the timings right of doing everything, you know, because we're very ambitious. There's lots of like, we'll be like, yeah, let's go and do that, and then you're like, shit, we've got to. It's a lot of things to juggle. Right. You know? It's even down to like merch. That's like another business that you got. And writing the album takes so much from us. You know, it's such an awesome process, but at the end of the day, you know, you're working really hard to get this album finished, and you know, we're not the quickest band to record or, you know, make an album. So that alone in itself is quite a challenging task. And then to be like, right, we've got to do 4 videos and they've all got to represent something different, and you know, we don't just want to bash stuff out. So just creatively draining is a bit of a thing, but it's just managing it really, and you know, we like to look at tasks that we need to look at right now in front of us and not go, what's the next video, because it is in the back of your head, what's the, you know, or anything. So I think it's just managing things like that is something we are still learning to deal with.
And you said just now, like, the videos also have to like represent a different side. Those songs have represented very different sides from the album as well. I've had a chance to listen to the full album already, obviously, and then sure, there are some new elements, but there's so much still coming, and there's stuff that we know from the past. There's also a bunch of surprises on this album that I won't give away to people that haven't had a chance to listen to the full album yet. Going into this album, does all of that then come in a very organic way, or did you guys sat down and said like, hey, you know, with this album we do want to try different things, because this turned out to be an extremely varied album? Like, how does that happen?
I think with us, like, it's pretty much always organic. There's never really like a meeting, or like we don't go, right, we want to go in this direction. It's just kind of what a collaborative thing that we've been, either each individual has been writing over the past year or two, that, you know, we are always on the same page, and we're not opposed to doing new things. Do you know what I mean? If it is from us and we're playing it and that's how it comes out, that's what it is. So it's not really a conscious effort to be like, let's do this. But I think just getting together and putting these ideas together in a bowl and just kind of seeing what grows from it is where we start. And just we're kind of just not afraid to do what sounds right or feels right, you know, because there's a lot of, you know, you can be kind of pigeonholed into, well, is this heavy, is this metalcore, is this that?
Right.
If you kind of strip those away and just go, do we love it, and does it sound cool, does it make us feel good, like that's kind of what we go off.
From talking to bands, we learned that, you know, often the most ardent conversations are which songs are the singles and which aren't. Was it very difficult with this album then? Because
100%.
it's not that you can say like, oh, this song is like the representative of the entire album. No, it's like everything is a different side.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of just the situation we're in, because we are very diverse in the music, and that's what we like. You know, we have always been like that. We've always had melodic songs, we've always had really heavy ones, like more punk songs, more, you know, so like that is just us, and that's how we get around doing what we want to do it in, you know, and not being pigeonholed, like I said. Yeah, and it's all, I mean, picking singles is the hardest thing. We've literally just gone through it again, you know, and that is something that not always we agree on, because some people have different agendas to be like, right, yeah, but we've focused on that side, why don't we do this side? But then you kind of you're also trying to balance what feedback you're getting back. So, you know, it is nice to kind of disrupt the market essentially, and put something out that people aren't expecting. Right. You know, instead of being too safe and being like, right, let's just give them this. We know that they're gonna like it. But it's kind of interesting to be like, well, this is different. You know, they might not, you know, not everyone might like it, but this is one of the edges that we'd like to show. But then it's hard, because I think it's like picking one page out of a book and reading it, or one chapter of a book, and then flipping straight back to the 9th chapter and then going to the 2nd chapter. Unless you've got the full book in front of you and you read it, I don't think it makes true sense. And I think as we're releasing these singles out, it's slowly starting to piece together the sense of what we've written. It's sometimes hard to hear feedback when they've only heard one track, and you're like, well, just hold up a sec, like, you know, that's just part of the puzzle. So now you mentioned, you know, we've always had some punky influences as well. As you mentioned that, I want to just check in with you, because obviously on this album, one of those songs that brings that punky side is Wildfires. I do,
which is a lot of fun. One of my favorite songs, I think, on the album. There's that late 90s punk rock influence. Who in the band brings that to the mix?
Well, I wrote a lot on that track, but then I think me and Matt is probably more so than most in terms of the punk element. But then, you know, everyone has got that punk in him, so it's like we've all kind of raised on that kind of stuff. So it's just there, always sat in the room with us. So it's kind of cool, you know, and that is just who we are and what we like to write like. And I think that does, for me, it's nice because it pulls us out of the metalcore category. And, you know, I don't want to be in just that category. You know, it's fine if people do, and that's what they're aiming for. But for us, I like to just not be really like, you can't really put a title on us.
Now, you mentioned, you know, we want to make a bit of a statement and show a different side when we come out with new material, and you guys definitely did that with the title track that was released as a single, and a very fun video. Many people, including myself, to be honest, when I watched for the first time, was like, oh, kind of have to think a little bit about break stuff from Limp Bizkit, maybe more so the video. So I'm going to use that as a very forced segue to, you know, I'll see you guys play, and hopefully also in the backstage of Grass Pop, where you guys will be playing on Saturday, I think. And on that same day, it's you guys, it's Limp Bizkit, it's Bring Me the Horizon, it's Architects, it's Avenged Sevenfold. It's like that whole class of 2000 to 2006, if you will, has not just taken over, but has also kind of come back a little bit in a way. Because some of these bands had, you know, people kind of lost track of them a little bit. That's that's cool to see. That's cool, if you will. Is headlining festivals all over now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's cool, man. Like, now it's a good collection of bands, and it's good for us. We love seeing all those guys. So now it'll be a fun time.
Yeah. Does it start? Because I think it was a couple of days ago that was it Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine announced that they're going to do like this, 20th anniversary tour where they're going to play like their classic albums in full. For you guys, your 20th anniversary is coming soon, very soon. Like things like Legacy, and when you start to look at the bands that we grew up with, they're now the headliners, and we're like the next ones. Like, is that stuff that's on your mind? Like, are you in any way a nostalgic person? Do like Milestones, like it's our band's 20th anniversary next year or 2 years from now?
We're massively nostalgic, and even nostalgic for the music we listen to, and like you say, all these bands that have kind of stood the test of time. Like we hold high for those guys. So like, it's not really something we constantly think about in terms of like, right, well, where we're going to be in 3 years time. We've got goals, obviously, and it's just each year you kind of take on in itself, like, and obviously we do plan like gigs sometimes 2 years ahead, and they are big milestones. Like Ali Pali was definitely a milestone to achieve, and so we have got another milestone already lined up that we're waiting to do. But yeah, in terms of just other things, though, it's just enjoying the ride really, and just keep going, and hopefully more people connect with the music, and just keep doing what we love, and hopefully people will receive that well.
The album ends with a very interesting song, Radical Hatred, Radical Love. So when I was listening to it, like the image that I get is you guys just finished your show and you're all standing, on a line, waving to the crowd, throwing your picks and drumsticks while that track is still playing in a way. Is there some truth to that? Should we look at this as a bit of a closing ceremony kind of thing?
Well, I feel you can't. Yeah, I mean, it's personal preference, really. It's like, I think we'll definitely want to play it live as just to have some dynamic in the set.
Yeah,
and like if you listen back to other albums, that we have always like concluded the album with something almost. So like that necessarily wasn't just a conclusion. That was that's another track that we felt really passionate about, but it just right being there. But no, definitely, I can see it being played in the set. So we love that song.
All right, we'll keep our eyes open when you're on stage. What's going to come our way? To kind of turn us for the last few minutes in a completely different direction. Something that we might forget when we look at all the stuff that we have to unpack with the videos and the music and all the kind of good stuff, but underneath of it all is an extremely stable group of guys that have been together for a very long time. Technically speaking, yes, there have been some lineup changes, but very, very little. We don't see that often anymore, that a band's been around for 20 years with hardly any lineup changes. Like, what's been the special sauce or the secret sauce that has kept you guys, together so long?
It's going to sound cheesy, but I think it is just solely the friendship that we have is the foundation of what we've grown Sleeps on top of. So like it another cheesy thing. It is all we've ever known. From me and Matt were playing in a band together when we were 14, same with Sean, and then we kind of developed from there, and we'd be having band practice at his dad's house, and it was just this magical time that we just kept working on, and we never gave up on it. And there's been ups and downs, obviously, same with any kind of friendship or relationship or business in a sense, but it's just something that we've never lost the passion for. And I feel very fortunate to share that same vision with 4 other dudes that feel as passionately about it as I do, because that's one thing I do see in some of the bands that I feel for them when they can't seem to get the crew together in terms of where it's just like, there's some dude out there wanting to join a band, but he can't find the right people who are committed. And I think that is another thing that needs to be said. It's commitment, because there's a lot of sacrifices you have to take, traveling, leaving your family, all that kind of stuff. So like, it's not all sunshine a lot of time when there's times that, you want to be home with your family or whatever. But that's the sacrifice we do, and we do it because we love it, and that's the main thing. And it, for me, almost, it's like, I think getting to travel the world with 4 of my best friends is the main thing, really, and then the music is a very close second. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, because that's kind of what came first for me. Having a group of friends first, and then we're like, right, should we fucking start? Should we do a band? And so like, so that it's really important to us.
I know more than a few of the band members like to go out into the open and go for big, hikes and what have you, and explore nature. I know you like to do that on a motorcycle. Just to, to wrap us up, when you are touring, do you bring a motorcycle? Like, do you have a chance to go for rides and stuff like that?
I wish I did, really. Like, I think it's getting the right tour. Maybe a Europe tour would work, but it's also getting the right trailer size. Once we packed our trailer with all the merch and gear, like, oh fuck, we're not gonna be able to get one in. But now we've taken some
just an empty merch stand next time with the sign. It's like, hey, sorry everybody, Adam wanted to bring his motorcycle. There's no merch. Just
would be a thing on the bucket list to do that. Well, or even just if it was a small UK show, it'd be cool just to do follow the bus on the bike.
Right. Yeah.
Just camp out at different nights.
Yeah. Manowar once did that, I think.
We do like to get out when we travel these places, because you get what you put in. If you the bus all day or in your hotel room, but it's pretty miserable. So like, you just want to go out and explore, and that's half of the fun, really.
Yeah. All right. Well, you'll be doing hopefully a lot of exploring, and I'll keep my fingers crossed that you're able to do that on a motorcycle for parts of your tours and shows. Summer festivals, who knows? It could be fun. And I wish you all the best with the release of this album. Adam, thank you so much for your time today. I really do appreciate it. And I wish you all the best with this release, man.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.